too expensive for staying at room 13. Usually airy and usually buried, and that's just how my life goes. And I don't ever try to dress to impress. Fuck you, preppy asshole. On the 14th floor where the bathroom door don't lie. So happy we don't gotta worry about the cops. We could all get arrested for this, but when the police mix, I don't give a shit tonight. Alright. Now she walks in the bedroom fast, despite all the noise from the crowd. Now she spent the sound of bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on a deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome in to episode 54 of Phired Up, presented by the Belly Up Podcast Network. Check them out at bellyupsports.com. You can also check us out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, anywhere you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, Phired Up Podcast. And check out our new website, firedupsports.com. Latest news and good articles and good stuff going on over there. I'm Mike Gilletto. Joining me, as always, is Dom Console. Dom, what's going on, man?
Victory! We are 2-2, baby.
That's not.
We have a series.
That's
I'm
not
doing
where
good, man. What's
that's
up?
not where I thought you were going, because like,
Listen, we have
because of the
trivia
news
last
that
week.
broke. Well, no, because of the news that broke. Well, that's true because of the trivia last week. But the news that broke earlier about Jokic, probably where it reported that he's winning the MVP. It doesn't really feel like a victory when it comes to the personal level.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we have a series going back to Miami, tie ball game, and the story, I guess, is Joel Embiid, right? Well, sort of, yes and no. I mean, the story that he's back and how much of a difference maker he actually is kind of the story. But I mean, listen, we're hard for Harden at this point, right?
Fletcher's cock, hard for Harden. Yeah. There's a lot of dick jokes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Before we even talk about the MVP, we can get into this series so far. Like, listen, man. Just his presence alone.
Yep.
You've just seen it. Like these last two games defensively. He didn't put up the greatest offensive numbers in game 3 and 4, but
No, but him just being there just does so much.
Absolutely. And look at the first game. I mean, it was like the lowest. I think it was the lowest points in the playoffs or something, like the lowest matchup or whatever it was.
The Heat only scored 79 points.
Yeah. So listen, look, he is the quarterback on defense. I guess the middle linebacker or the safety, whoever runs the defense.
How is it physically possible that a dude that big can move that fast laterally? It is stupid how fast he can move just anywhere on the court.
Yeah.
Just one or two steps, he's got you covered. It's stupid. It's nuts.
It's yeah. No, I mean I hear you. Listen, and there have been a lot of talks about his toughness. Listen, he's playing through a finger injury,
a broken face. You can't question his toughness at this point.
Absolutely.
Not at all.
Listen,
if you want to say his body breaks down because of his size and whatever, I kind of get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Now, granted, none of the injuries he has right now are lower body. They're not knee. They're not ankles. So I don't think these injuries are necessarily him breaking down. They're just unfortunate accidents like the broken thumb or him getting elbowed in the fucking face.
Yeah, I would love for somebody to get elbowed in the face and not not get hurt.
Right, exactly. By the way, do you want to take back your words from last week, or do you still want Siakam dead?
Man, you're going to make me say this again? You're really going to make me say I want him dead.
Right, fair enough.
I'm not allowed to say that. My wife might hurt me.
But either way, I mean, but again, just his presence, just defensively, offensively, the things that he could do, it just opens up the floor for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's we have a series back to Miami, which is a good thing.
Like I think of that play. It was going all over Twitter this morning too. Like even when it happened last night, it was in the fourth quarter when he gets switched up. I forget who the guard. It was a guard. I forget who it was. Oladipo. Oladipo has the ball. He gets switched up on the 3-point line. Oladipo brings him to mid range, comes back, and Embiid is with him the entire time. And Oladipo tries to get a pass around him, and Harden blocks it with his knee, and they call it a kick, like whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like you hear Embiid as that play is developing, yelling, pointing, telling, just being the quarterback of the defense. Like you go here, you go there. Like it's just his smarts, his dominance, his greatness, his just everything about him just wreaks, havoc on the defensive side. You don't even need the blocks. Like the blocks are great and all, but like just him being out there is just enough. Like we've seen that in these last 2 games.
Yeah, and he's a warrior too, right? Like the fact that he's playing through all these injuries, and I tweeted something out this week that said like, is there a player that has matured more in a 3-year span than Joel Embiid? Like you just think back 3-4 years ago, just with the Shirley Temples, right? Just him just being a goofy, he seemed like he didn't really care. To just an
24-year-old.
Yeah. To now he's just an absolute warrior, and he would die to win. Like I'm convinced he would die to win.
Of course. I mean he's pretty close to it.
Right.
It's like Game of Thrones. Like the dead rise. Like that's just kind of what happened.
Right.
Listen, on Wednesday he couldn't even look at his phone because the light bothered his eyes. 2 games later, he's
it's a little fishy how he passed concussion protocol that soon. I will say that. But whatever.
I know a guy.
No. Exactly.
Yeah, no. It's incredible what he's done so far. He's made this a series.
Have you noticed any like differences that to his game? Like to me, the thing that I've noticed more from him, and maybe it's because of the thumb, or just his vision. Whatever, it could be a number of things. But he's gone more towards a mid-range game. Like he's shooting a lot of mid-range shots, not trying to do anything too deep. Which I don't hate. I don't need him at the top of the key. I don't need him shooting any threes. I'm perfectly fine with the mid-range game from him.
Yeah, definitely more mid-range. And ever since Harden's been here, he's been in the paint. So
fair.
We're seeing a lot of that still. But the only thing that's like not concerning me, but what we saw in the regular season is he would start off pretty hot, his first 4 or 5 shots, and then he in the second quarter he'd kind of even out a little bit. And then in the second half is when he really would, he'd finish that first half with like 15, and then he'd finish the game with 40. Like the second half is his half. And he's done that the last 2 games, I think. He's been better in the second half. But I'm a little worried these last 2 games of just how he started because just because of the thumb, you know what I mean? It's still an adjustment.
And you do see him starting to get more comfortable. I feel like he was more comfortable in game 4 than he was in game 3. Like it's gonna take some time to get used to. Theoretically, the more time that goes on, the more the thumb, the more the eye, the more the concussion can kind of heal. Right. So hopefully the further they go, because listen, Sixers in 6. I will just say that.
You got it. You got Sixers in 6.
Sixers in 6. Yeah.
All right.
It's either going to be Sixers in 6 or Heat in 7.
Okay. I actually have the Sixers in 7.
I don't know if they have the. Joel does, but the rest of the team, I don't know if they have the mental capacity to go into Miami in a game 7 and win.
I got you. Listen, I have nothing to back this up because both home teams have won both their games.
Yep.
I have a feeling each road team is going to win the rest of the series. It's just a hunch. So. I have nothing to back it up at all. I just have that feeling where the Sixers are going to win game. What is it? Game 5? No,
Game 5. Yep.
Game 5, and then the Heat come out and they win Game 6, and then we go to Miami and win Game 7.
Yeah, I just
have a feeling.
I just feel like the team that wins Game 5 will win the series.
Okay.
I think Game 5 is huge.
A lot of people said Game 4. Whoever's going to win Game 4.
Well, yeah.
Go up 3-1.
I can see that. Yeah, if he go up 3-1, the Sixers are done.
Yeah, especially Game 5 being away.
You're right.
Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. I just again, there's nothing that backs that other than just a gut feeling.
Yeah, I hear you.
So this is not me telling you. It's just a feeling.
Right.
Like it's not me telling you it's gonna happen.
So I mean, I brought it up a little bit for a quick second, but James Harden, kind of had a very quiet first half, but in the fourth quarter, dude just went nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was just feeling himself a little bit. I don't know what took over, but we saw we saw glimpses of 2012 James Harden out there.
Listen, man, it's the red jerseys. He just saw Houston again. You know?
Yeah, there you go.
Just wearing the red jerseys and, oh shit, I'm in Houston. He just started hitting buckets.
Yep, and we've only really seen this side of James Harden maybe once or twice, if that, since he's traded here. But if they could wake this James Harden up, that's huge for the run. Because I mean, I've been very critical of. Listen, I said it when it happened. The trade had to have happened. They still didn't, lose the trade, right? Like they had to trade for James Harden. But I'm very skeptical of James Harden when it comes to playoff basketball. But if you could get that James Harden, the one who's not just casually putting up points that don't really mean anything, like he's making momentum-changing shots, like big shots and big.
That's
moments.
What he does. That's why he was perfect for this team. I've said it on the show before. Like, when the other team goes on an 8-0 run, you got a guy that's going to come back and hit a 3 in their face, like, and even though it wasn't like that yesterday, where like they went on a 10-2 run or like Miami, it was still the Sixers up 5 or 6, and like you need a guy to go up there and hit his shot, and like that's what he does. Like Embiid, we've seen this year, has not been great at the end of games, and now you got a guy that could be in big moments. And listen, like we kind of talked about it either last week or the week before. Like I don't think it has anything to do with his not wanting to win. Like you mentioned, like maybe it's just he doesn't have it in him, and I don't find it that way. I just think it's just more he's lost a step, and hopefully this great play of game 4 continues. I'm not going to count on it, but listen, I woke up pretty happy on a Monday. That's a rare win. So.
That is a good point. But back to James Harden a little bit, because I guess we'll kind of transition here a little bit. Not James Harden, Joel Embiid. He might fuck around and drop 50 in Game 5, because he's going to be motivated after the news that came out today with Jokic, winning the MVP. I don't know if I want to use the word robbed, because I mean Jokic did have a great season, but it just feels wrong.
Definitely,
it feels wrong that you have a guy who in Embiid who is clearly the most valuable player to the Sixers than anybody else to their team in the league.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's close.
No, it's not. Listen, Jokic is a great player. He does a lot of great things. To me, honestly, and I said this even before he won the MVP, before today, I had said, to me, he's like second, maybe even third, who I thought should have won MVP.
Giannis? You have Giannis over?
Giannis was number 2, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, listen,
and you could also make a case for Doncic.
He didn't do it all year.
No, he didn't, but it's...
And when I say all year, and when I say all year too, you talk about from December on, because like that's kind of when it's the MVP kind of starts to, December, January, when it starts to become serious. You have the way too early predictions, like everybody, like the first month of the season, DeMar DeRozan's the MVP. He was like 10th, in voting. I mean, but listen, but look, you gotta like take a look at like these teams too, like. Jokic, all right, fine. He didn't have Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray's a very good player. He didn't have Michael Porter Jr., a very streaky player, but a nice player. I like him on the Sixers, but you take away what Joel Embiid had too, like a streaky Tobias Harris, right? Didn't have Harden until what? February? March. He played. I
was gonna say they had a guy who was supposed to be a top player in the league, and Ben Simmons sit out. He had to deal with all that drama.
Exactly. That was my point. I was like, it's that's fine and great that Jokic had to deal with his players, his teammates' injuries, but like the absolute soap opera of what's going on in Philadelphia. Like it's just
right, and he pretty much had to mentor a young Tyrese Maxey, like. There's so many things Joel Embiid had to do.
And he was the scoring champion of this year. He won the scoring title. Like he won the scoring.
Yep.
He led the league in scoring. Like
the first center to do it since the year 2000 when Shaquille O'Neal did it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So quick math, 22 years ago.
Yeah, like, and I think there's only ever been one other player to do it, and it's Will, or it might have been Will and Russell, but like centers don't do that.
No, no, it's stupid. It's stupid. And then you're gonna give Jokic back-to-back MVPs. The one thing I will say is, I'm tired of, like, I understand it feels wrong that Embiid didn't win it, but I'm tired of the argument of like, well, did you see what he did? How could they give Jokic MVP when you see what Embiid was like, or you see what the Sixers were like without Embiid for Game 1 and Game 2? It's like, well, the voting's done way before the playoffs, or before the playoffs even start. The voting's done, so I don't like that argument, but I do agree that. Well,
listen to this, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
So that's two years in a row, right? Last year, Jokic, what did he do? He got swept out of the second round.
Yep.
And this year, he loses in 5 games on his home court. In the first round.
Yep.
So I mean, listen, you're right. They do the voting before the season ends, but I don't know, man. It's just like you got these dorks that like they talk about his analytics.
Do you want me to play the Nick Wright audio? All right, let's do it. So this is Nick Wright on First Things First. Is that
dude had me cracking up today.
And I'm not the hugest Nick Wright fan,
but he's been a big Embiid guy.
Yeah, sorry. Let's play here.
I took my time to do research, study, care about league MVP for 70 years of NBA history, and now it's just a thing. It's like, okay, it's Conn Smythe Trophy. Like, yeah, whatever. Once upon a time, this really mattered, right? Guys who have won it back-to-back were... you're going to know some of these names. It's Wilt, it's Russell, it's Kareem.
Stop me if you hear anything.
It's Bird, it's Magic, it's Michael, it's Duncan, it's Giannis, it's LeBron, it's...
That actually was my next point.
And then...
Okay.
You've got guys like Duncan... Steph Curry, Giannis, Magic, Moses,
all timers, all timers,
and then you got guys like he said, Steve Nash, who's a great player, but he's not an all timer, and Jokic. So you got all those guys.
Nash is probably a Hall of Famer though, right?
Nash is a Hall of Famer. He's a great player, but he's
not
an
all time great, right?
He's not Magic. He's not
a Jordan.
Moses. He's not Larry. He's not Duncan. He's not Jordan. He's not. Kobe doesn't even have a back to back.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think, does LeBron even have a back-to-back?
I thought he named LeBron in that.
I don't think LeBron has a back-to-back. So it's like you got all these guys now. It's like you're gonna look at the history of like these great players, like I said, Wilt and Russell and Bird and all these all-timers, and then it's like plus Steve Nash and Jokic, both very good players, both great players, both probably gonna make the Hall of Fame, or Jokic is gonna probably make the Hall of Fame. But he does not fit in that list.
No.
Not even close.
Yep.
And I'm somebody who really enjoys the big man, watches. I'm happy that the big man is coming back, and the big man is. They've added to their game with 3-point shot, mid-range shots. At the foul line, things like that. It's not just getting in the paint. So it's that was my next point, but I'm happy you played that. So.
Well,
you can keep going if you want.
I was gonna say it's not done.
Yeah.
There's Steve Nash and Nikola Jokic, but it wasn't just basketball that was true. Jim Brown, Joe Montana, Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers. The only people who won back-to-back MVPs in football. Antoine used to be reserved for the all-time best of the best, the greatest of the greats, plus Steve Nash and Nikola Jokic. And it's very, very difficult, Antoine. I know it's a regular season award. But I was told by the people who voted for Jokic that he had a better defensive season this year than Embiid or Giannis. Now, Embiid and Giannis are still playing, so we get to watch them. Does he look like he has more of an impact on defense than them? I was told by the folks that vote on this award that he and Luka are in different stratospheres. Now,
so his great defensive ability, he was taken out in Game 4. Game 4 it was at the end of the game because they were up by a few points, 5 points maybe it was. They were up 5 points with a minute left in the game, and he was
Wouldn't
taking
you
him out.
wouldn't you want your defensive stud in the game at that point?
Exactly. Yeah, because he's a great defensive player. To the dorks who sit behind their fucking computers and, I'm not. Go ahead. Keep playing. I'm angry. I had to stop myself.
Luka happens to still be playing, so we get to see it. Does it look like he has more of an impact on the game than Luka Doncic? No, of course not. But he wins this award 2 years in a row. And 2 years in a row, his team is at home when the award is actually announced. So good
Correct.
job, voters. I hope the VORP gods reward you with
My
the pearly
favorite
gates,
line.
Because the real life NBA.
Can we rewind? Are we allowed to rewind that?
Are
we able to?
I don't know if I can do all that. Hold on. I might as well start over. Hold on. All right, here we go.
But he wins this award 2 years in a row. And 2 years in a row, his team is at home when the award is actually announced. So good job, voters. I hope the VORP gods reward you with the pearly gates.
The VORP
real
gods.
life NBA watchers
I'm going to get that
will know.
tattooed.
That's the title of the episode, the VORP gods.
Yep, absolutely. 100%. Down for that. Love that.
This is the problem, and this conversation comes up every year when you talk about Hall of Fame voting. It comes up a lot of years when you talk about MVP voting. Let's stop with the writers voting on these major awards.
Yeah, these guys that have never dribbled a basketball in their entire lives.
Right, they've never played. Most of them have never played in their lives, and I could guarantee 95 to 100 to 99% have never played at a high level, even if they did play.
Right.
So I'm not sure why they're voting on such a prestigious award at the highest level of professional sports.
Dude, and look how many people are coming out. How many players that go up against both of these guys every night. How many players have come out and said Nikola Jokic, he deserves the MVP?
Yeah.
How many? 5 because they're all of his teammates.
Right.
And then look at all the players that come out. Andre Iguodala and I think Draymond said it. JJ Redick, who used to play. I think Bain said it from Memphis. It's just like a list of guys who just say Justin Anderson, Jimmy Butler. These guys come out and say, no, that dude is definitely the MVP of this league this year.
Yeah, I don't know if you would have current players voting on something like that because
No. But I'm just saying
friendships and things like that.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
You have a panel of retired NBA players, or even coaches or general managers, executive people in these sports should be voting for these awards.
No, I'm not saying that they should vote. I'm just saying these people that play against them.
Yeah,
know
absolutely.
The truth.
Yeah, that's why in hockey they have the Hart Trophy, which is the MVP voted on by the writers, and then they have the Ted Lindsay Award, which is the most outstanding player voted on by the players. Yeah. And if you talk to a lot of NHLers, they would prefer getting the Ted Lindsay Award because that means, hey, the guys that I'm playing against night in, night out say I'm the best at this.
Right.
So that baby basketball should go something like that. Honestly.
Listen, last year we were told he wasn't the MVP because he didn't play enough games. He comes out this year, breaks his career record or whatever, has a career
still
high
missed 14
in
games, but COVID and everything, it's
right.
It's
listen.
whatever.
Look at a healthy Kawhi. He misses 25 because he's 6. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah.
So, I'm not saying that was this year. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I got
he
you.
was banged up this year, but
yep.
But he didn't win last year because he didn't play enough games. This year he played. He has a career high in games. And then they tell him straight to his face, yeah, no, you still don't deserve it. What, like you've said it before, if he doesn't win it this year, he's never going to win it. What else does he have to do?
I don't know how he could possibly get better than the season he had this year. It would be very, very, very hard.
But even
for
if
him
he
to
did
get
the exact same thing that he did this year, it's not good enough this year, right? So why would it be good enough next year?
Then you could argue either Giannis or Jokic take a step back, and there's more separation between the two.
For sure. But,
I guess it's the only way that he would be able to win it. But
then there's going to be other guys who
take a step forward,
right.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Ja Morant, those kinds of guys. So
yeah. So I don't know what you do.
I hate to be that guy that beats that drum where it's like they hate us, like they hate the process, but it's kind of becoming clear that we're sort of being penalized. And listen, I'm not somebody who says we should tank and this and that. And I'm not saying that's why, but it's just becoming a little bit obvious that okay, they're against us.
And not even the league, because like again, this is voted on by writers,
Right,
so like
right.
the writers just have some sort of ill will towards the whole process and all that, and the fact that Joel Embiid is kind of cocky and
I mean,
arrogant, and so
I-
that might play part in this too.
I do think the league could put pressure on writers to vote a certain way, but
I don't know, because like
I'm not saying that's
I don't know, because I think if Joel Embiid is the clear MVP, which a lot of people seem to believe that, it's a bad look if the NBA wants another guy to win. Like I feel like the NBA would want the guy who deserves to win, because it's just a bad look otherwise.
it's a bad look to have a guy win 2 straight. You think?
Not
European-
if he's not deserving of it.
And listen. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm going to be totally honest with our listeners. I'm not calling him Larry Bird, but this league has been waiting for Larry Bird. They have a white guy who can dominate, and it is just the facts. Like I'm not one way or the other. We're not going to get political here, but they really have been waiting for a white
Dom
guy
with
to
the hot
take
takes.
over. No, they have. I mean, it's been like that for a while.
Yeah, I'm just trying. I really am trying to think of the last one. I mean, I guess you could go Steve Nash, honestly, but
Yeah, Jason Kidd. I mean, he was a
Jason
good player.
Kidd, but yeah, good,
But they weren't Larry Bird.
Good, but can you say great? Like I guess
Right.
Kidd had a couple great years, but he wasn't. Like, when I think all time greats, Kidd's never gonna come up in the list of
Right.
conversation. Like
He's a top 10 point guard, closer to 10, but
right.
yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know.
But again, all that to tell you this: Joel Embiid is going to be on a mission and might drop 50 in Miami on is that Tuesday or Wednesday? Is that game?
It is Tuesday.
Tuesday
So
night,
yeah,
okay.
listen, man, it's they finally listened to us.
He's
They're not
gonna
playing on our show.
yeah, that's true. This is like the first
week in,
week
like,
in
3
3
weeks.
weeks
Yeah,
that they didn't play on a Monday night.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, listen, Sixers and 6 is all I got.
Yep. They and like it's total bullshit too. Like the Sixers have to play every other day, and so do Dallas and Phoenix play every other day. But then Milwaukee and Boston have and Golden State and Memphis have 3 days off. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah. They
3 days off?
They played Wednesday and then Saturday, while the Sixers and Heat and then the what did I say? Phoenix and Dallas played every other.
Really?
Yep. So the Sixers between Game 6 and 7 have 2 days off. Every other game is every other day.
I'm gonna ask a question that I might be jumping the gun here a little bit.
Okay.
But I told you, Sixers and 6. I'm not even fucking worried about it. Who would you prefer to play, Milwaukee or Boston in the next round?
It's gonna be tough. Either way.
Yeah.
I thought Boston was gonna win. I thought Boston was gonna win the East coming into this round, but Milwaukee really is just incredible. Dude, I was watching that game before we came on. Like Giannis just gets what he wants whenever he wants.
Oh, he's great. He's a top 3 player in the league.
I mean, man, I'd probably rather play Boston because I think both teams are deep, but I think Milwaukee's a lot deeper. And like you said,
Yeah.
they have a top 3 player in the league. Tatum's a great player. Brown's a great
He
player.
is, yeah.
But I think if they play Milwaukee, it's going to be a great series. I'd probably rather play Boston though.
Yeah. Yeah, because you don't have to go up against Giannis every night.
Right. And then, with the way Tobias is playing defensively, you put him on. Maybe you try to put him on Tatum.
Yeah.
Just trying to think who would guard who. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to
is.
think about who guards
Now let me ask you another question. Because
Okay.
last week we did a lot of railroading on Glenn Rivers. I almost slipped up and called him Doc. I'm not going to do that. I'm not
going to do
gonna
that. No.
So we bashed him a lot last week.
Wait.
telling him-
So real quick.
Go ahead.
When
Yeah.
I hope this isn't your question, but when do we stop? When do we go back to?
Well, and that wasn't my question necessarily, because I still refuse to. Because if they win this series and they go far, it will be solely because of Joel Embiid, and 0% of that.
I wouldn't say 0, but
a very low percentage
Okay.
goes towards Glenn Rivers.
okay.
But
go ahead.
The question is, if they win this series, would you still fire him if he loses the next round, or do you think this series can potentially save him a job?
I think it's going to depend how the series goes.
If
If they
they-
go to 7 and it's a hard fought series,
I'm saying. Well, are you saying the next series? Depending on how
Yeah.
the next series
Yeah.
goes. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, I got you.
yeah. If they win this series and they go like a hard fought 7,
He
you probably
stays.
bring him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if they go in if they win this series in 7 and then they go and like lose in 5, yeah,
Right.
pack your bag. It's Glenny.
Yep. Glenny. I like it.
So, at what point do we go back to the nickname?
You know what? Here's my proposition for you, Glenn Rivers. I will start calling you Doc again when you win an NBA title this year.
Okay.
Do that.
All right.
Do that.
Not even just the finals?
No.
Like
you
getting
gotta
to the
win it.
finals?
Nope, you gotta win it.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just that's a lot. I think if they get to the finals,
that's how
I'll
low
reward
he
it.
is on my shit list, or how
Okay.
high, I guess I should say.
I got
But
you.
that's-
I respect
That's
it.
how down I am on Glenn Rivers. That you
No, I
have to.
respect it.
He's got to come back and he's got to win a title.
I respect that. I think for me, it's if they can get to the finals.
Okay,
I'll,
fair enough.
yeah.
Fair enough. And that can change depending on how the finals goes. If they get swept in the finals, yeah, fuck you. You know, I'm not calling you Doc.
Okay.
But if they maybe go a hard fought 6 or 7 where something,
Man, you're getting
one-
softer on me. I don't like it.
all right, you know what? Win or bust.
Yeah, you're getting too soft here.
No, listen. I need to be called out on my shit sometimes.
Exactly.
That's fine. All right, so fair enough. Win or bust. If you don't win the NBA title, I'm not going to call you Doc anymore.
Okay.
That nickname will not come back.
All right. I like it.
All right.
Oh,
so
we hold each other to things. All right.
exactly. It's absolutely. All right. You got anything else on the Sixers?
I do not.
Okay. So
Just,
let's go from one coach on the hot seat to another.
Oh boy.
The Phillies with Joe Girardi. The leash is feeling very, very, very short at this point. All right, they're 12 and what are they? 12 and 19, I think I saw. Hold on, let me check. Yep, I'm sorry, 12 and 16. 7 games back of the Mets in the division. I mean, at what point? Like, I don't think he makes it to June 1st at this point. I just don't see it.
It's fair. Yeah. No, I agree. I was telling somebody today. You know, it's hard to think he even makes it past May. So I if they keep going on this road, so I agree.
Right. I mean, the problem is, I'm trying to look. So they are on a little bit of a West Coast swing right now, and they come back. Okay, so they come back to home on May 17th. So typically, coaches don't get fired while you're on the West Coast. Makes things
Right.
awkward and weird. So I mean, if things don't turn around against the Mariners, and then you have a 4-game set in LA against the Dodgers, good luck.
Yeah.
Then maybe you're looking at they are off Monday, May 15th, or I'm sorry, May 16th. That could be the day if things don't turn
Yeah.
around that he's gone.
Yeah, and like you said, it's gonna be a tough way to turn it around on the West Coast against arguably the best team on paper,
Yep.
best team whatever in the league.
You got you're 3 against the Mariners, 4 against the Dodgers.
They're getting ready to start soon too, right? I think it's a 9:40 start.
10. Oh, it is 9:40. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
it is 9:40.
yeah. I how good is Seattle this year? I haven't really followed.
I haven't looked either. Hold on, I could check in 1 second. They are in the AL, right? They are 13 and 16, so
Okay.
right around 500.
Yeah. So they're right around there with the Phillies.
Yeah,
Same record.
yeah.
So
Who is who's starting for the Phillies tonight? Because I know Wheeler and was it Suarez
Eflin.
went on the
Eflin.
COVID IL?
It was Eflin and Wheeler.
Eflin and Wheeler. Okay.
Yep.
Who's starting in the night then?
It is Suarez. Suarez.
It is Suarez. Okay.
Yep.
I knew 2 guys went on. I couldn't remember which 2.
Yeah, Suarez tonight, Nola tomorrow, and they don't have anybody announced for Wednesday because it was supposed to be Wheeler, I believe.
So
they said they were gonna. Yeah, it's probably gonna be like a
bullpen game.
Yeah, the same thing they did. What was that? The second Mets game
Yeah.
on Sunday.
Yep.
Did you hear that interesting fact about Scherzer? Well, the two facts.
I don't think so. No.
The first one, he hasn't had a loss in 26 games, 26 starts.
He hasn't had a loss in 26.
Like the
starts?
team hasn't lost. Yeah. How fucking
That's
nuts is that?
hold on, that's 2 different things. He hasn't registered a loss, or every
team
game he
hasn't
started,
lost.
the team hasn't lost.
No. Okay. I believe it's that.
Because the team can lose,
you
but
got
him
me
not
here.
registering a
Somebody
a
told
loss.
this to me today. Yeah. No, I'm lost. Never mind. Just disregard that.
Because either way, they're both impressive.
Yeah.
But
If anybody
the
has
team-
that stat.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's probably him not registering a loss. Because
Yeah.
that seems a little more believable. The team just flat out not losing in 26 starts is
Right.
impressive.
And then the other thing was the Phillies are hitting as a team this year against Scherzer. They're hitting 317, while the rest of the league is hitting under 100 as an average.
So they can hit Scherzer, they just can't hit anybody else.
Not a single other human being. Yeah, no, exactly. Makes a lot of sense. It's Philly. It's just the way that things are done here.
Who do you blame most for the rough start to the season? Do you blame Girardi? Do you blame some of the bigger guys like a Schwarber, a Castellanos, a Harper? Like,
listen,
who do you blame?
I'm going to say there's a reason why I feel as though the blame should go on Girardi more than anybody. I mean, it's tough to say that it's the manager's fault because sure, the manager can lose you games. The manager could lose you more games than win you more games. But
yeah, but how many games so far that they've lost where you're like, you know what, Joe, you really fucked that up? And maybe I could probably count. Honestly, the season hasn't been very long. I could maybe count 4 or 5 already.
But that's a lot. Like
that is a lot.
That's a lot though. Like especially only being a month long. Like
yeah.
But my biggest issue with him right now is like you've got these veteran hitters: Schwarber, Castellanos, Harper, Realmuto, Hoskins. Like these guys, why can't we just set a lineup for a week, just a week? Just set it as this. Like get these guys in a groove. Like let them find their spots, find their pitches because the number 2 hitter sees different pitches than the number 4 hitter. You know what I mean? And if a guy's hitting second one day and fourth the next day, there's no consistency. And like with these veterans, I just want to see like I want to see consistency. And like maybe we should make the lineup a little bit more consistent and give these guys a chance to succeed. Yeah, but that's why I'm not sitting here like, oh, Schwarber's hitting, what's he hitting, 200 or 209, whatever it was. It
was below that. Did he get it back up to 200?
I thought the second Mets game it was in the low 2s.
All right, hold on.
But regardless, whether it's 190 or 210, I mean, it's basically the same thing.
211 right now.
Okay, so it's real. And look, I understand he's a veteran and like. He should be able to be, and he's very versatile in the lineup. But like, let's find the consistency a little bit. What made the 2008 Phillies so successful? I mean, they had great hitters, but you had Worth behind Howard. You had Pat Burrell behind him. Like, you succeed by what the lineup does in front of you and behind you. So like, let's find a little bit of consistency in the lineup. Yeah,
but that's kind of all we talked about when they got Castellanos and Schwarber about what that was going to do from spot 1 to 6. Like how just hitters all around the lineup.
I got you, but when you're hitting leadoff and then 6 the next day, it's like it's totally different. Like you're just seeing different pitches. So like, let's find consistency in the lineup, and then maybe you can get guys to get string along a couple hits.
Yeah, I think it just goes to Girardi seeing something isn't working and isn't letting it have the time to maybe fix itself. To fix itself because he sees results aren't there, right? They're quickly getting themselves in a hole, and I guess he's trying to dig out of it quick.
And it's what are we 30 games in, whatever, or 20 something games in, 30 something games in, like
give or take.
It's
28 games in. Yep.
Yeah, it's we're not 110 games in. You know what I mean? Like it's like you said, you got to wrinkle out the wrinkles. You got to iron out the wrinkles. Like you got to find what works and what doesn't. And like sometimes it takes a week, sometimes it takes a day. Like, so I don't know. That I think that's my biggest thing right now.
The biggest, not the biggest, but one of the things that's interesting to me is you went out and signed a Castellanos, a Schwarber, these veteran guys that have been around a while. The concerning thing for me is so far on the road they're 3-7. To get veterans in here, I would think that they would play a little more comfortable on the road. They know what the lifestyle in the MLB is like. They've been around for a while. They've done it for a while. A 3-7 record on the road, you should be a lot better on the road.
Yeah, and also too, like I think like the first month of baseball is tough. Like
it's weird. Yeah, weird shit happens the first month of the season of baseball every year.
Weather, Yep. And this spring training was a little short, but like we're starting to get to that point where it's like, all right, it's gonna start getting warm soon.
Yep.
It's we're 28 games in, we're not 8 games in. Let's try to find this a little bit here. And like I had read that their first month of the season was the toughest in baseball. Like they had the toughest schedule in baseball.
And then May does not get any easier.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially early May.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I mean in May I just had it up. Who do they play in the month of May?
So they got the
Mariners
next.
The Mariners next, then the Dodgers, Then they have 3 against the Padres. Then they have 3 more against the Dodgers. And then they have 4 against the Braves. And then they have 3 against the Mets.
And then you know what? Yeah, keep going.
And then 3 against the Giants, and that wraps up May.
Correct.
So the Giants, the Mets, the Braves, the Dodgers twice, the Padres, the Mariners. That's their month of May.
It's gonna be tough. It's definitely gonna be tough. So
yeah, I mean, this month's gonna. I mean, it's tough to say in May, but this month could make or break the season.
no, it could. It's another 30 games. Like that's huge.
True. Yeah, it's true.
We're not talking about a week here. We're not talking about 2 series.
Right.
So
we're
this
talking
month
about
really 7 or 8 series.
This month could make or break the season because there's a lot of tough teams in there, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
There really is.
And listen, you play against the Braves in a division. You play against the Mets in a division. It's not,
Yep.
It's not. I mean, listen, Miami's Miami and Washington's Washington, but like, it's going to be tough to climb up against the Mets and Braves.
The Mets are impressing me so far. Now there's still a lot of time for them to fuck up.
Right.
Because that's what the Mets do, but they're getting really good pitching performances from people we don't expect to be good pitchers. Like the fact that they're doing what they're doing without Jake DeGrom is crazy to me. But,
yeah. Yep. No, it's crazy.
Yep. So, all right. Anything else, Phillies, or nothing else? What'd you make of the whole Bryce Harper? What's the word I'm looking for? Player meeting after the game on after they blew that bad loss. Did you see this?
I didn't hear it. No, I didn't.
Oh
hear
yeah,
it.
apparently had a players only meeting. It only lasted like a minute or two. He said, "Guys, don't let one loss define you. Let's get back to work tomorrow night, and and we'll be all right. Don't let this loss define you." And then the next night the game was canceled, and then the night after that the game was then again canceled. So the message probably didn't even really set in because you got 2 days off, but it was interesting nonetheless.
Well, it's like in football when you huddle up your team before the game and everybody gets hype and this, that, and the other, and then as soon as the ball's kicked off, everything's gone. You know what I mean? Once you get smacked in the mouth, it's gone.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, I mean that loss, that the blown loss in the ninth, that can't happen.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Listen, dude, I'm watching the game 7-1 7th inning. I'm like, oh, we got a big lead here against the Mets. I can go to bed. I didn't even go to bed. I turn it off and I do whatever I'm doing. An hour later, I look at my phone. It's like people calling for Girardi's head. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And I see they lose 8-7.
Yeah.
Craziness.
It can't happen. It just can't.
No.
There's really nothing else to break down other than that can't happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. You want to move on? I don't even have anything planned for Eagles or Flyers, so hit me with trivia, and then we'll just we'll wing it here.
We'll bullshit. Yeah. Listen, that's what we do on the show. Bullshit.
Exactly.
So
hit me with some trivia.
Do you not have a Who Am I?
I don't.
Dude,
I've
been waiting like a month here.
I know. I keep saying I'm gonna do it, and things have worked in the last like 2 or 3 weeks. Have gotten crazy hectic for me. So I just haven't had the time.
Man. I don't know if I buy the excuses.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen.
We
next
work
week,
hard
maybe next week we won't even talk anything about. Well, I'm not gonna be on next week. I guess we will say that. But when I come back, we're not even gonna do a show. We're just gonna do an hour of Who Am I's.
Okay, all right, that sounds good.
Yep. But
what's worse? What's worse?
That?
You retracting what you were saying about Glenn, or not having a Who Am I for the 15th week in a row?
Not having a Who Am I is probably worse. I know.
Yeah. Because you keep saying it every week, next week.
I know. I keep forgetting. Yeah. I keep forgetting. Work's been crazy. So I'm sorry. But I'll have that figured out.
Okay. I'm not even going to get it next week because you're not going to be here. And
that's true. A little show note. I'm not going to be here. Dom, did you get a guest for next week? Did you get that lined up?
We're talking.
We're talking. Okay.
Yep.
I don't know what that means.
Nothing is official yet.
You're in negotiations. I got you.
Yes.
Okay.
We cannot talk until papers are signed.
All right, sounds good. So we'll announce that when it happens.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah.
All right, so hit me with some trivia then.
All right, so I got something interesting this week. So last week, we went on a little bit off track, and I'm not sure how people really. Yeah, I'm not sure how many people really appreciated that. Hopefully, most of our listeners did because it's a great show. But
I think I went 4 for 5, I believe.
Yeah. So this week we're gonna go a little bit on the same page. We're gonna stay in sports. We're gonna go 5 questions about sports movies.
Oh, okay. I like it.
So I will say one of these movies is technically not a sports movie, but it has sports in it.
Have I seen it? Like,
Yeah. Probably.
Okay,
I mean, I
all
hope so. I mean,
okay, fair
maybe. If you haven't, then you're probably gonna get it wrong.
enough.
I mean,
Go ahead.
listen, it's a movie that people love or hate. There's like no in between, really. So I don't.
I have
if you've
no
never
clue.
seen it, I mean, that it's. But I hope you've seen it for the sake of the question.
Is this movie isn't a sports movie? But is there any trivia for this movie?
He's the fastest kid alive.
There is not, but the week after next week,
Okay, the week after next week. All right,
I'm dead
cool.
serious. I'll do Super Bad trivia. All right, let's hop into this. So first up, like I said, sports movies. We're gonna go to baseball question here.
Okay.
So, what 3 big baseball movies does Kevin Costner star in?
So For the Love of the Game,
Okay.
Perfect Game. Is that what it's called? No, that was For the Love of the Game. For the Love of the Game. Hold on. Fuck. Holy shit. I'm drawing a blank. For the Love of the Game. That was one where he throws a perfect game. It was a whole love story. It was
that's one of
sappy, blah, blah, blah. Why am I drawing a blank?
I don't know.
If you build it, they will come. Why am I drawing
It's arguably the greatest sports movie
Field
ever.
of Dreams. Field of Dreams.
Field
Field
of
of Dreams.
You had me
He
worried
was
there.
he was in fuck, he was a minor league baseball player. Another love story. Why am I drawing a
He was in Draft Day, but that is not the answer.
No, it's not. No. God, this is gonna bother me because I know the fucking movie. How much time do I have?
I mean, we got a lot of time to bullshit. So
we do. That is true.
So strap in, everybody.
Holy.
We're gonna be here for a while.
Dude, I can literally. It's on the tip of my tongue, and for the sake of time, I feel like I'm not gonna be able to get it.
Do you want to come back to it? I'll let you come back to it.
Bull Durham.
Yep.
Bull Durham. Okay, yeah, I
got
knew it was on the tip of my tongue. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's the name of a town.
So
the name of a town, Durham, North Carolina. Yeah, no, I got
real
you.
quick. Kevin Costner, he's the GOAT, like sports actor.
We've talked
right?
about this before. Yeah.
Okay, I got another thing too later with that.
Okay, go ahead. But
but
yeah,
that-
no, I mean,
that's-
who else is on that list? I mean, I know months ago, early in the show, you mentioned like Adam Sandler, but I don't
Right.
put Sandler. I don't put Sandler on that list.
Well, why not? That's what I was gonna go with. I was gonna go with that to the trivia. Why not? You know what? Let's we'll dive back into it. Let's
All right,
let's
fair
finish
enough.
trivia.
Go ahead.
Okay, second up, what movie does Henry Rowengartner pitch for the Chicago Cubs, played by Thomas Ian Nicholas?
That would be the Rookie of the Year.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final
We're
answer.
2 for 2 from 3.
It's a great movie. I love that movie.
It's a very good movie.
Love it.
Did you see he threw out the first pitch last week?
Did he?
Yeah.
No, for the
For the
Cubs, I
Cubs?
imagine.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. That is awesome.
Okay, next up. What successful child actor turned successful adult actor plays Roger Bowman, where he sees Angels playing in the outfield?
Oh, that was Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
We are James Harden in the fourth quarter in Game 4.
On
Hitting
fire.
hitting
Yep.
missiles from 3.
Yep.
Okay, next up. This is the non-sports movie that has sports in it.
Okay.
What school does Forrest Gump run himself into a scholarship?
Oh fuck. I don't know. I've only seen Forrest Gump like once or twice.
Which a lot of people will be like, "Oh, that's crazy!" Like, either you love the movie or you don't. Like,
Yeah,
I'm personally somebody who loves the movie. I know a lot of people who don't love the movie.
I've only seen it once or twice, so this question might seem really dumb to somebody who's seen it a bunch. Is it a name of a real school?
Yeah, no, it's
or
a
is
real
it like
school.
a fake made up school? Okay,
No,
it's a
no,
real
it's
school.
a real school.
So they're
It's in the
from
South.
I was gonna say they're somewhere in the South. So I'm gonna say Auburn.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Close.
Alabama, because that was my next
Alabama.
guess. I
Yep.
I was about to say Alabama, and I figured that was almost too obvious.
Crimson Tide.
So I switched it to Auburn. Damn it.
Yeah, he's from Alabama. Yeah. in the movie.
Yep.
So, all right, last up.
Well, isn't Auburn in Alabama or is Auburn in?
Auburn's in
Mississippi?
Alabama.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Is it? Auburn's either Alabama or Georgia. I think it is Alabama.
Yeah. That's why I went with that. I was going with
Yeah.
either Bama or Auburn.
Right.
Damn it.
Okay, last up. What?
Yeah,
dream-
Auburn is in Alabama, by the way.
Okay. What green does Shooter McGavin tell Happy Gilmore to meet him at 9 p.m. where it is a secret of the pros? So which hole?
I don't remember this one. It's been
Do you remember the movie though? Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
when he
yeah,
goes out
it's-
there and
yeah,
at
it's
9
dude.
o'clock.
But honestly, it's been probably 15 to 20 years since I've seen this movie.
Really?
Yeah,
It
I
was
haven't
on
watched
Sunday.
it. Was it really? I haven't watched it in a very long time. I'm gonna say hole. I mean, the obvious one. You go with like 18. I'm gonna say 18.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
It is not the 18th. Meet me at the 9th hole at 9
The
p.m.
ninth. It was either 9th or 18th. Was the two I
Right.
was going with.
All right, so
All right.
down to the real questions here. So what makes Adam Sandler not a Hall of Famer? And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just curious because listen,
he's
Happy
a hall.
Gilmore-
He's the Hall of Fame when it comes to movies, but I don't think of him as the Sports Hall of Fame
Okay,
movie
well,
because he's done so many more movies. Like the first, when you think of Adam
so is
Sandler,
Kevin Costner though. Kevin
fair,
Costner's done more than just sports movies.
fair, but like I don't know. I just don't. When, the first thing you think of when you think Adam Sandler, I don't think sports movies because he's got such a big catalog. Now, I mean, he does have a lot of sports movies. I mean, you could go name them, right? He's got
Right. I
is he?
got a list right here.
yeah,
So
Billy
we've got-
Madison. Not
we've
Billy
got-
Madison. Not Happy Gilmore.
We've got
He's
Happy
got-
Gilmore,
Waterboy
the
was
Waterboy.
great. Yeah,
We've got hold on.
Longest Yard he was in.
The Longest Yard, yep. And a lot of his movies have sports reference in it too, like Anger Management. They go to a baseball game. I mean, not that really counts, but I think there's one more, isn't there? He's a sports bettor, and
Uncut Gems.
yeah. All right, maybe he doesn't have another one, but no, I mean, like that's the thing. It's
I
like,
was
it's like-
expecting an all-time list. You named like 4 movies.
but those are 4 great movies.
Yeah, but like, I don't know if I would call them. I mean, yeah, they are sports movies, but they're more focused on the comedy aspect as opposed to the sport aspect.
Okay, then Slapshot's not a sports movie.
I mean, it is though.
It's not. It's a comedy. It's more focused on the comedy.
Okay, fine. You stumped me. I don't know.
But seriously, you want to? Okay, fine. Then
But
Slapshot's
so
not
when
a-
you
not-
think of Adam Sandler, the first thing you think of is he's a sports movie Hall of
no,
Famer.
no, absolutely not. But when I
Okay,
think,
that's my point.
But when I think of sports Hall of Fame actors, I guess I would say, I think he's up
But
there.
what? Who else is though? I'm just curious, like, other than. Go ahead.
Sylvester Stallone, right?
That's not fair.
Why? He's done fucking 12 Rockies.
Yeah, I understand that, but like, I lump that as one collection. Like, I don't lump that as 12 different movies. Like, it's Rocky. He's Rocky. He's one character.
So
Unless you just go with, like, I mean, do you put the guy, I forget his name, the guy from American Pie that played Henry Rowan Gardner? Do you put him in the conversation just because Henry Rowan Gardner is such a iconic character?
well, is he in any other sports movies?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so then
But-
no.
Okay, but how big of a, like? There's not many other. Okay, I mean, I'll give you Sylvester
Will
Stallone.
Smith.
What was he in?
What's it? Well, he played Muhammad Ali. I'm honestly I'm looking at a
I've
list
never
right now.
seen. Yeah, I've never seen that.
Hold on, we got time here. We got all day. Safety.
Michael Ass's sudden
Um,
death, a sports movie. I don't know what that is. What is sudden?
They have
death?
Dwayne Johnson on here too.
You know what? He's done so much. I don't think of him as sports movies, but he has done a lot.
What sports movies has he done though?
So he did a couple of corny ones. He did like the Tooth Fairy or whatever, where he was like a hockey player.
Oh yeah,
He
he
did,
did the one.
He did a football movie. I forget.
yeah,
what was the name
the
of it.
Disney movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
forget
yeah,
the name.
Does have you ever seen Fighting with My Family? Does that count? It's
That's a wrestling movie, right?
Yeah,
I
it was
haven't.
actually pretty good. I don't
Was he
really
in
like
that?
wrestling. Yeah,
I didn't see it. I've
not
heard
for-
of it.
Dude, he was in it for like 3 scenes. So I don't think
Oh,
it really
really?
counts. Yeah.
He was in a few more too. I just can't remember them.
Wow, this is a really bad list. Like they have LeBron on here. Like he's in one movie.
Yeah.
Paul Newman. They have Paul Newman. Michael B. Jordan. He was in
Creed. He's Creed.
and Friday Night Lights.
Not a movie though.
Yeah, but it's a TV show.
Great show. Love the show, but it's not a movie.
James Earl Jones. I don't know, other than The Sandlot.
Mike
He
says,
was a
"Wait,
boxer.
You have never seen Sudden Death? Please go watch it."
Dennis Quaid.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Okay, Dennis Quaid was in The Rookie, and what else was he in?
Oh man,
He was. Yeah, what else was he in?
he was in Everybody's All American, The Express, Any Given Sunday, The Rookie,
Any Given
Breaking
Sunday, okay.
Away, Our Winning Season, Soul Surfer. I don't even know if you can count that as. Isn't it like a fucking Marvel character? And Playing for Keeps. I don't know. Woody Harrelson. White Man Can't Jump.
Okay. But what else is
Semi-Pro.
Okay. Yeah.
Dude,
is Will Ferrell? Is Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell. That's a hot take today, actually.
Semi-Pro.
Kicking and Screaming.
Kicking and Screaming. Underrated movie. The list
Do you know that's
probably.
his favorite movie that he ever made?
Is it really?
On set. Not. It was his favorite on set movie. Because he said like his family was there. So,
Okay.
like, for that whole thing.
Right.
What else has he been that?
Has he been in any other sports
Talladega
movies?
Nights.
Oh my god! It's
it's. I don't think NASCAR's a sport, but like Blades of Glory. No,
Blades
he's a
of
Hall of
Glory.
Fame. He's absolutely.
He might be above
He
Sam.
might be. He actually might be.
How do we
Wesley
not think?
Snipes.
Okay, what was he in?
He was in White Man Can't Jump. Major
I knew
League.
that one. Yeah.
Willie Mays Hayes. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right. He was Willie Mays Hayes. Love that movie.
Mark
too.
Wahlberg.
Invincible.
The
What
Fighter.
else? The Fighter. Good movie.
Basketball Diaries. The Gambler.
Don't know what that is.
You don't know what the Basketball Diaries? You don't know the Basketball Diaries?
No.
I've never seen it, but I know what it is.
No.
It's Leo. Him and Leo are young.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Emilio Estevez. I mean, come on.
I mean, Mighty Ducks. But what else? Other than Mighty Duck 1 through 3 or 4 or however
Well, that's
many
the
they
thing.
have
Well, he played the jock in the Breakfast Club. I guess it doesn't really count, but
now.
if you
That's
count-
on the list.
yeah, if you count Rockies, I mean, you gotta count all the Mighty Ducks, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Kevin Costner and Stallone are both on this list,
Yep. But yeah, I mean, the first person you think of is Kevin Costner.
and then the second person is Will Ferrell. So
Well, it wasn't for us, but now it has to be.
Dennis Quaid is probably second, honestly.
Yeah, but again, what was he in? I mean, he was in The Rookie, and like that's and
No,
Given
he's in
Sunday.
like 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this list has Bill Murray. So
What
this
was
is
Bill-
another one. Sorry.
Hold on. What was Bill? I mean, Caddyshack.
Caddyshack, Kingspin,
Okay.
Space Jam.
That's right. He was in Space Jam.
And then they have Sandler, Mark Wahlberg, Denzel. He got Game, The Hurricane.
hmm
Remember the Titans.
Big one, obviously.
Right. The Rock. Gene Hackman. Oh, Gene Hackman's a big one too.
Why am I? The name sounds familiar. Why am I?
He was in
Who's-
Downhill Racer. Sorry, Hoosiers. Split
Okay.
Decisions. The Replacements.
I gotcha.
Dude, he hasn't been in a movie since 2004. He's like 100.
Really?
Dude, Will Ferrell's on this list.
Is he?
Yeah. Semi-Pro. Blades of Glory. Talladega Nights.
Gene Hackman is 92 years old, so there you go.
Yeah. Kicking and Screaming. It's everything we named. That's fantastic.
Yeah, no, Will Ferrell has to be on there with all
Yeah.
all the movies we just named.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it actually goes in order. So Costner only has... So Ferrell has 5. Costner, Stallone have 6 movies. Woody
Yeah, but
Harrelson...
that's unfair for Stallone to be up there. Like I know he's gotten the most, but like
Well,
I put the
was he
collection of Rockies as one.
He was in more than just Rocky, though. This says Death Racer 2000. I don't know what that is.
Was
Paradise
that one?
Alley,
Are these his pornos that he was in? I don't understand.
probably. Over the Top, definitely a porno. Driven, Grudge Match. So that's 7 roles. Or I'm sorry, 6 roles. No, wait.
Uh-huh.
No, that's 5. Okay, 6 Woody Harrelson, 7 Wesley Snipes,
This show's gone downhill.
8 Dennis Quaid. Oh, so wow, is Dennis Quaid the GOAT?
How many did he have?
He's got 8.
8. Okay, and we've named Dennis Quaid movies 7 times. One more time, name the 8
Everybody's
Dennis Quaid.
Everybody's All American. Any Given Sunday. That's 2, right? The
Yep.
Express is 3. Breaking Away, our winning season. That's what's that? 5.
Yep.
The Rookie,
Okay. 6.
Soul Surfer,
7.
and then Praying for Keeps.
8. Okay. I've seen like 2 of those movies.
Yeah, one's a fucking Marvel movie. So the Soul Surfer.
Is Soul Surfer a Marvel movie?
No. He's
Oh.
just a character.
Isn't it about? I think it's about surf. I think it's about surfing.
Yeah, that's not a real sport. Yeah,
That's you can make that argument for sure.
But then again, you could say like NASCAR is not a real sport either. So like, but we have to keep it for Will Ferrell. So like,
That's true.
if we keep it for him, we have to keep it for.
That's true.
For
Is there any
Dennis
like obscure like tennis movie or something?
Will Smith.
True. Yeah.
What's that movie I just saw?
King Richard.
King Richard. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good movie.
Was it?
Yeah, John Barenthal's in it.
Did Will Smith smack anybody in that movie?
He did not.
No.
He came close to it though. So
He held back.
he did, but not not the award night.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of because so he played Ali.
Will Smith.
Yeah. What else did he do?
Okay, we're just gonna go on Will Smith catalog now.
Does concussion count? That was whatever. Yeah.
I mean,
he's anti-sports in that.
I feel like if you're going with like I didn't see King Richard, but how much of that is about actually actual tennis?
A lot.
Is it really?
I wouldn't say it's like it's one of those movies that it's like the Adam Sandler movies. It's like it just kind of has sports in it. I mean,
right.
But like that's the whole like the idea of the movie is like the relationship with his kids, but like and how much he gives for his kids, but like it centers around tennis. Like 90% of the movie they're playing tennis. Like
oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I can't find anything else.
I can't find anything either from Will Smith.
Yeah, so
I'm trying to look. Apparently he was an ESPN reporter in Anchorman too. So
okay.
Does that count?
I don't think so, but let me see if we can find anybody else. These people probably are, what the fuck is going on? Robert De Niro. What? I forgot Robert De Niro.
In what sports movie was he in?
Raging Bull.
Okay.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the list kind of ends there.
Sorry, people.
I was gonna say we just had a long break.
Grudge match.
What?
Fan?
What is it?
Fan? I don't know what that is. It's Wesley Snipes.
Okay.
And Robert De Niro. Hands Are Stone? That's a lot of boxing movies.
Yeah.
You think De Niro likes boxing?
Maybe.
They have Paul Newman on here too, though. Like, I don't know how many. I mean, he was in Slapshot, but so I'm looking up. All right, Paul Newman sports movies. Oh, he's been in quite a few. Slapshot, The Hustler, Somebody Up There Likes Me, The Golf of Money.
What about
Oh, The Color of Money.
What about Russell Crowe?
What's he been in?
He was in one of my favorite movies, Mystery Alaska.
Okay.
He was also in I don't know if you want to call it a sports movie, probably not, but Gladiator.
It's not a sports movie. People die. People die in that movie.
He was also in Cinderella Man.
Okay. Yeah, no, I put him up there.
Very good movie.
Okay, so Paul Newman, Slapshot, The Hustler, Somebody Up There Likes Me, The Color of Money, Winning, The Sting, Cat on the Hat, Cat on a Hot.
He was Cat in the Hat. Is that wasn't a sports movie, Dom?
I'm not even gonna try that one. And then he was in Cars 1 and 2. Sorry, Cars 3. Cars 1 and Cars 3.
We're good. So the second one they said no, but we're gonna put Cars on the list of sports movies. Is that what we're doing?
Yep.
I guess if Talladega Nights is up there, then hey. I guess that is too.
Burt Reynolds is in The Longest Yard.
Oh, yeah, but was he in anything else? Well, he was in the second one too, right? He was in He was in both of them.
Burt Reynolds sports.
This show is taking a turn. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Wow, he was in a lot. Like too many to name.
Who?
Burt Reynolds.
A lot of movies or sports movies?
Sports movies.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he was in like 30.
Really?
And I don't know how many of these are like really sports movies, but we're not gonna list them. So
No.
because I don't really care that much about Burt Reynolds.
No. You got anything else about the Flyers or Eagles that you want to talk about? Any hot takes? Anything? Have you watched any playoff hockey or no?
Very, 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 very little.
Yeah.
I watched a
that's
little
fair.
bit of the Minnesota-St. Louis game on Sunday.
Okay.
So I think Minnesota was up 2-1 at that point.
Right.
But other than that, not really.
Yeah, like so far they've been kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, as I've heard.
Yeah, there have been a lot of blowouts.
Right.
A lot, and they've been calling way too many penalties, if you ask me. But
Okay.
I'm an old school hockey
Fair
fan
enough.
in that sense. But
Yeah. I wish they would have called it like they did back in the days, 2 years ago. But
yeah, yeah, you're right. I'm hearing a lot of people like there is criticism like of years past of people wanting them to call whatever they call in the regular season in the playoffs because like
Yeah.
if it's a penalty in January, why isn't it a penalty in May? It's like, well, it's
'Cause it's
fucking
playoffs.
playoff hockey. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Hide the
dude,
whistles.
basketball's kind of been like that too. Like let them play a little bit.
Yeah.
But we should plug your article though, like what you wrote, like
Oh, yeah.
how you feel about this this like coaching search, or this
so-
future coaching search.
I guess we can talk about that because the coaching search just got a little more interesting with the Islanders firing Trotz. Sorry, Barry Trotz. But yeah, no, I posted an article last week about five coaching candidates for the Flyers.
Yeah,
It got some pretty good traffic so far, which you love to see. But yeah, I mean, I could kind of break it down and I'll pull it up so this way I can have
Hit
a
me
frame
with
of
it.
reference here. So yeah, I mean, there really isn't an order to this. These are just guys that kind of intrigue me.
Right.
So the first guy that I had on the list was John Tortorella.
Yep.
And I mean, everybody knows Torts, right? He's the outspoken, cocky, divisive personality in
Right.
hockey. But I like him in the sense that like the Columbus teams that he's coached have all been on paper very bad, and he's gotten a lot out of them. So he's good in that sense. So I like that. And he has a cup to his name. Now, granted, that cup was in fucking 2004.
Yeah.
So it's been a while, but he still has coaching style that brings success. So that's why I like him.
Okay.
And then the second guy I had was Jim Montgomery. So Jim Montgomery was a coach, former player, played in the NHL for many years. Had a cup of coffee with the Flyers many years ago. And he was the head coach of the Dallas Stars back in 2018, 2019.
Okay.
And then he got fired by the Stars in 2019 for a concern due to his drinking problems, and then he went into rehab and got that whole thing figured out, I guess. And then he became an assistant coach for the Blues for the past 2 seasons. So if he wants to get back, and during his 1.5 years with the Stars, the team was very good. He had a very
Right.
good record. So he intrigues me if he wants to get back into head coaching. I don't know if the drinking thing is a trigger. I don't know. So who knows if he wants to get back in head coaching or if he just
Yeah.
wants to be an assistant in St. Louis. But he intrigues me. The next guy on the list is an outside of the box name, Ricard Gronborg. I think I'm saying that right, Gronborg. He's a Swedish guy, but there have only been 2 non-North American coaches in the history of the NHL to be hired. So it doesn't happen often. He's a guy that played in the NHL for many years. He won a gold medal. Was it a gold?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he won a gold as a coach in the Swedish team in the World Championships, or World Juniors. But he's a guy. He's an intense guy. He got in a yelling match with another coach this past season, kind of like remember the Peter Laviolette and the Dan Bilesma A fight from back in 2012. He did something similar where he was just jawing back and forth. I watched the video. I couldn't understand any of it, but
No. You don't know Swedish?
but yeah. So he's an interesting name because he's had success in an international stage. Now, the one thing he have to get used to is the North American ice and how to coach North Americans. But he played in the NHL, so maybe it's not that big of a transition. And then the fourth name on the list is somebody that everybody in Philly is familiar with, Rick Tocchet. He's got upside and he has downside to a head coach. So I'm not for it. I'm not against it. I'm indifferent. He had a little bit of success in Arizona, but not too much. He was pretty much a 500-ish coach there. So I mean, we'll see. I don't know how I feel about the old Flyer way, right? Bringing all the former players in and just get a fresh outside voice.
Danny Brier's going to be the next GM, so
exactly. Yeah, eventually he probably will be. Yeah, you're not wrong. And then the last guy on the list is Paul Maurice, which he's been a coach for many years. I'm trying. So he's coached in just under 1,700 games in the NHL. He's been around for a while.
The Whalers, right?
Yeah, so he's coached for the Whalers, the Hurricanes, the Leafs, and the Jets.
Dude, that's like
so
I think the Whalers are older than me. Like they haven't been in the league.
It's a while. Right around the mid '90s. Yeah, so right around when you were brought. To
I think it was like 93, 94.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been around for a while. Most recently with the Jets, he resigned back in December. Yeah, back in December. He pretty much felt burnt out. Felt like the team wasn't really. It felt like it was time for the team to move on from him. Felt like it sounded like it was a mutual decision. He's somebody that out of the many years of him coaching, has only made the playoffs 9 times, which is a little concerning. But 4 of the 9 were in the last 5 years.
Right.
So he made the playoffs 4 of the last 5 years. So maybe he figured out how to make the playoffs, but he hasn't been able to get over the hump yet. But just his respect around the league intrigues me. His experience, he knows what he's doing when it comes to coaching, which intrigues me. But on this list, he's probably 5th. And then again, the guy that just got fired, Barry Trotz. I like Trotz, but a lot of Flyers fans, I think, are forgetting to, don't realize that in order to interview Barry Trotz, the Islanders still have to give them permission to do so. And as a division rival, I don't know why they would do that.
Right. Well, how did the Caps let him interview with the Islanders?
He wasn't fired by the Capitals.
He quit.
No, he didn't even quit. His contract was up, and they just didn't re-sign him. They just let him walk. So he was a free agent. Yeah, his contract was up, and he asked for a certain amount of money, and they said, no, we don't need you. See you later.
Gotcha.
So he was able to
Marino.
Yes, he was able to sign with any team.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Yep. But yeah,
I don't know if I like that though. Like I don't know if I like that rule.
What rule?
Like that they have to give permission if they fire him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically they're under contract. You're technically not firing them. You're relieving them of their duties, essentially.
Right,
because they're under contract. Right. Yeah, you still pay them, and
yeah, I don't know if I like that though. Like just as like a league thing, not you. Like I'm just I don't know if I like that.
That's what people don't realize. So
yeah,
and a lot of teams I'm sure will call about Trotz. So like, if I'm the general manager of the Islanders, why would I approve the Flyers to talk to him? Like, no, go to the Western Conference.
Right.
So that's just me.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, go check out that article at firedupsports.com.
Yep.
We just got a new writer today, Kylie. I'm excited for that.
Yep. We can't wait to see what she's got.
Yep. Along with Josh and CJ. I'm excited. I'm excited for the things that are to come.
Yes, Christian. We got a team here.
We do.
The Avengers are assembling.
I was about to make an Avengers joke. By the way, I know we're kind of wrapping up here. I got another 15 minutes to rant. Have you seen? I know I'm late here. Have you seen The Batman?
I did.
I
have.
This is the most overrated movie of all time.
What? Well, that's saying a lot because
Okay, maybe not of all time because like
yeah, I was gonna say. I mean,
because Once Upon a Time in Hollywood always will be that number one spot. I hate
or
that
La
movie.
La Land, or
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the number one spot for me and the most overrated movie of all time. I hated it.
well, I don't think people. I think most people didn't like it.
Really? Everybody I
Yeah.
talked to loved it, but and it
Really?
got all this critically acclaimed stuff and
Yeah,
I
well,
don't
it's
know.
because it's Tarantino. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's a
hated
different
it.
argument for a different day. But
That is, but
um,
the Batman was a 3-hour waste of my time.
okay,
I felt like it could have been a fantastic movie if it was about an hour and a half. There was way too much downtime, way too much drama that didn't need to be there. It was
Okay.
a lot of boring parts, them just walking around and doing nothing, and it's just a lot of setting up that didn't need to be set up. Where like there was one car chase early in the movie that lasted, no lie, like fucking 25 minutes. It's like cut that to like an 8-minute car chase, and that's all you need. Like there was just too much that was drawn out. They could have made that easily a 90-minute movie, and I would have thought it was fantastic.
okay.
I know I'm late here because I just saw the movie for the first time like last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I completely disagree.
That's fine. I'm
No,
here for the
yeah,
hot
yeah, no,
takes.
yeah. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was. You really thought it was like, I didn't
Yeah,
think there was anything boring.
There
about
was parts legitimately like one part I fell asleep for like 15-20 minutes. I woke up. I asked my wife, "Did I miss anything?" She's like, "No, not really. No, you didn't. You're good." It's like, all right.
it. Yeah, that's fair.
And like I don't even think Robert Pattinson was that great. Like his
I thought it
character
was really good.
his character didn't have any personality. He was very
Well, yeah,
bland. The guy that did like that was great was the Riddler. He was a great character, and I'll give him that.
Paul
And
Dano,
he
yeah.
did
He's a good
great
actor.
he did great in the role. But like Robert Pattinson was very bland. He didn't have a personality.
Well, I think it's hard to have a personality because like he's 95% of the movie he's Batman. Like there's not much of Bruce Wayne.
Right.
And like the only knock on that I have is like Bruce Wayne was emo as fuck. Like he had like eyeliner and like crazy hair. Like I just kind of thought that like he was, I don't know. It was kind of like it was a little weird, a little bit weird of a take on. But as Batman, I thought he was actually a very, very good Batman. He was an okay. He was not even an okay. He was just fine as Bruce Wayne. Like to me, Christian Bale was a great Batman and just an okay Bruce Wayne.
I thought Christian Bale was great. Just
great
all around.
Batman.
Yeah, I thought all around he was great.
I didn't love him as Bruce Wayne, but you know, I thought Pattinson did pretty well.
My big thing is I just
not
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just don't think there's no reason to make it a 3-hour movie. Like you could have made it easily an hour and a half. And I probably would have thought it was great if there was nonstop
I
action.
disagree. I'm not saying it had to be a 3-hour movie. I personally think there wasn't a boring part in it. Like I thought from the beginning to end, it was a really, really, really good movie, and there wasn't any part in the movie that was like boring to me. Personally,
Oh, yeah.
and
No,
like
fair
and like it's to me like to me it's harder to make a hour and a half movie, 2-hour movie, because you have such a shorter time to make an impact on somebody, like a viewer. So I don't know, but I just maybe I don't know. 3 hours, it's a long time. I got you.
3 hours is very excessive for a movie.
It's
and
the only thing I didn't.
but if they did good things with that 3 hours, I wouldn't feel the same way. Like Avengers, long ass movie, loved Avengers because it was nonstop action. They really didn't have to set up much. It was just great.
Right, but also Avengers is like fucking 12 superheroes, so you always
Sure.
have something.
Yeah, not fair.
So like, but I don't know. I don't know. I really liked it. But the one thing I didn't realize, like Gotham was set in Seattle, because like it just
Really?
yeah like no I'm saying no, it's New York, but I'm saying like I didn't
okay.
realize like the fucking like it rains so much, like it does not stop. It's the Amazon rainforest. Like I didn't realize it was a non-stop fucking torrential downpour.
I was gonna say I was like,
It
I'm
looked
pretty
like
sure
it
it's
looked
New
like
York,
it looked like the
but-
Delaware Valley this past weekend. Like it was just
did,
just
yeah.
non-stop rain. I didn't realize it rained that much in Gotham.
Apparently it does.
I mean, I hope their sewer system works out pretty well because they fucking need it. But
apparently, but that's my hot take about the Batman. I just thought it was very overrated. I didn't care for it. It could have been a lot shorter, and I probably would have liked it. So
okay, that's fair. That's that's your opinion.
Yep.
I tend to disagree, but that's what makes us I don't know, a great country. I don't know what I'm saying here.
All right. You got anything else on your mind before we get out of here?
Yeah, it's probably time to wrap up.
Yeah,
These people are probably like, what the fuck's going on?
Yep, absolutely. All three people listening right now, or they're good. So, all right, we're gonna get out of here. Again, like us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Phired Up Podcast. Listen anywhere you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, and don't forget to share it. Share it with everybody you know.
Listen, when we come on next week, it's either we're sitting on our couches watching the Sixers or sitting on our couches watching golf.
Well, so, I'm gonna be up in the Poconos, so I won't be here.
True. True. So hopefully for your next show, we're still watching the Sixers.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. So we'll have all this to talk about. You'll be on with a special guest next week.
Yes.
I'm excited to listen. So
yeah, we're working on some things.
Still in negotiations.
We're not allowed to tamper.
You're hammering out the final
fined.
part of the deal. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So we're working on some things. So we'll see.
All right. Well, that does it. We'll get out of here and we'll talk to you guys next week. See ya.